My last few videos painting, or at least attempting, to paint Gundam have been a swing and a miss. I better do something good before I get booted off the Army Painter Factory team. Coming from a decent skill level of miniature painting, I jumped straight into the deep end when it came to painting Gunpla. I sucked, it was a whole thing. So in hopes of getting my shit together, I went back to basics. Which included setting aside the synthwave aesthetic that we almost exclusively use on the channel. But now a few weeks later, I'm getting comfortable enough that we can get about 40% unhinged with the colours. So let's create a little electric rainbow underglow on the Caliban. Now that we've got it assembled, let's do the complete opposite of that. And yes, don't at me, I took out all the clear plastics. Don't worry, they're not getting painted. Also, here's a little tip for priming. Because the finish on the plastic is a lot smoother than what we're used to with miniatures, give it a little bit of a dusting so it's got something to grip onto first. Then you can go back and go ham on it. And even after priming, I'm gonna use an airbrush. If you have an issue with that, feel free to eat my entire ass. Airbrushes really aren't this big, scary, expensive thing. You can pick up a beginner's compressor and a brush for less than a combat patrol box. You don't need to start with high-end boutique brushes just to kind of kick you off. Since we've taken a white model, primed it black, and we want to paint it white again, we're going to do this in a few steps. Starting with that company grey, I'm going to start giving it a little bit of a zenithal. A zenithal is basically just spraying from a top angle so you get everything covered on top and you're leaving the recesses and a little bit of the shadows underneath. But because we want to push this one a little bit closer to white, I'm going from less of a steep angle to cover a little bit more. And one of the cool things about this is if you play your angles right, you won't have to come back and panel line because it'll just skip all of those recess lines for you. After that company grey, we're going to take a step up into Augur Blue. And yes, it is a blue, but it's also an incredibly cold off-white. Even though we want it to read as just basic white, we do want to play a little bit with the contrast. And this time we're playing around with temperature, so every time that we jump up in lightness and brightness, I'm going to change the temperature of that tint. We started with a light neutral grey as that basic toning, and then we came in with a cold off-white, and this is actually going to make it seem a little colder and whiter because it's a cold off-white. And then to add some warmth and some luminosity for that final little spray down, I came in with ice yellow. Trust me, do not overdo this step or it will look yellow. If you feel like it needs just a little bit more, stop. It's probably actually perfect the way it is. Hey look, he's actually going to use a brush. This right here is the entire reason we just used a whole bunch of off-whites. Because if we went to pure white, there would be nowhere to go for the highlighting. And because we went through the contrast of off-whites from neutral to cold to warm, we're going to come back in with a pure white and we're going back to neutral. Even though it's just white, adding all of these tones is actually going to give us a little bit of interest. And since we left all that room with the off-whites, we're going to sharpen everything up with that true white. But we can't stay with that Republican wet dream of pure white, so we need a little bit of colour. Because a lot of the panels that I want to hit with this are fairly well recessed, and we're doing it now on top of white next to a finished white, instead of running in with a straight flat black matte paint, I use a Turnbull Turquoise speed paint. This is the one that you can get out of the Army Painter John Blanche sets. It's dark enough that in contrast to the white, it is going to appear black, but it doesn't have to be as boring as a flat black. It's also easier to apply when you're talking inside panels. For the eyes, I'm just going to give it some quick interest. I gave it a base coat of Regal Blue, a very quick layer up into Emerald Forrest, because we want the lenses themselves to actually read as green. Then finishing it off with a few little dots of Daemonic Yellow. It gives it some highlighting and it'll actually push a direction. Okay, let's talk about paints. Now, I know a lot of people in the Gundam community don't really use the same kind of acrylic paints that the rest of the miniature painting world does. Well, at least not to the same extent. And that's fine, every segment of the hobby has its own little ecosystem of tips, tricks and tools. But this is not a hard and fast rule, especially if you're like me and you're already set up for one hobby and then you kind of migrate to another. And since I am a member of the Army Painter Factory team, if you spotted anything in this video today that you'd like to try, you can use the code HERESY5 at the Army Painter web store. Or if you're in Australia, you can use that same HERESY5 code at in-games. Both will score you a discount and both links are in the description. And we have sexy new merch. So why did we need to paint the white thing white again? Basically, I wanted to be able to control where the light placement was. Coming from miniature painting, I have this massive need to be able to control where the focal points lie, which is something that I don't see a lot of Gundam painters doing. But I'm not letting the real world light dictate where this looks good from. And you gotta admit, forcing that directional light, it really hits different. But here's where we take it to PERMET SCORE 10. Even though I reassembled the whole thing, I did pull the torso and the legs apart just to make it easier to get on the undersides. Because now I want to create some kind of OSL or underglow. Starting off with the colour that I could not live without, Wicked Pink. While it does have an actual name, we're basically going to do an upside down zenithal, where instead of spraying from a steep angle from above, we're going to do it from below. And because we wanted to shoot across like some kind of prismatic reflection or rainbow, I'm going to just pick our section by section and blend in the transitions between each colour as we go. And to be completely honest, after laying in the crystal blue on top of that wicked pink, I could have just done the entire thing like that and it would have been awesome. But I promised an electric rainbow, and when we're talking Caliban, this is probably the perfect setup for it. And to finish that off, we're going to come back in with that Emerald Forest, the same that we used for the eye lenses, and then into our Daemonic Yellow, again, the same that we used for the eye lenses. And a little bit of Lava Orange just to kind of set it all off. If you're going to try this out, make sure you keep those angles steep. You only want to hit all the ledges from the underside. If you come too far up, it's going to get a little bit muddy. We definitely hit a few stumbling blocks along the way, but I think we're finally past that hump. And as much as the airbrush did the heavy lifting on this one, I'm still pretty damn happy with it. As always, a massive thank you to InGames, The Army Painter, and all of our amazing Patreons. There's also a link in the description to our new channel, ONLYDAMS. It's basically going to become a daily hobby blog. Big love, you filthy heretics.